There is a $2 jug of white vinegar sitting in your pantry. It can erase the human scent trail from your hunting boots for good. It works on rubber boots, leather boots, and the cheapest pair sold. Old whitetail hunters used this trick for over 100 years. They misted it on before first light and walked the woods unseen. Then the scent control industry sold you sprays at $40. They sold you ozone machines, carbon suits, and scent-free soaps. The cheap plastic jug of vinegar got buried in the back of the shelf. This is the story of how that simple cure was hidden from hunters, and how a plain kitchen vinegar still beats every modern scent spray. Welcome to Hidden Hunter Wyatt, the channel for buried hunting. If these forgotten methods matter to you, hit subscribe and the bell. This is where buried backwoods knowledge comes back to real life. Go back to the year 1908 in rural Pennsylvania. A whitetail hunter in the Allegheny Hills was named Thaddeus Vance. He ran a small dairy farm with his brother near a long wooded ridge. Every fall he walked his stand trails before the sun came up cold. The deer winded him from 200 yards out on the quiet mornings. He could not afford the new scent killer sprays that catalogs sold, so he reached for the vinegar jug his wife used for canning jars. He poured a cup of vinegar into an old hand pump spray bottle at dawn. He misted his boot tops and his pant cuffs before he walked in dark. He misted the leather laces and the rubber soles of his hunting boots. Within the very first week, the deer stopped winding him at long range. He killed a heavy 10-point buck in the second week of the season. The scent he left on the leaf litter was gone within about 1 hour. The deer walked right across his old boot tracks without even pausing. Thaddeus told his brother, and the trick spread across the hills. Old farm hunters in New York and Ohio and West Virginia did the same. Trappers in the Adirondacks misted vinegar on every leg-hold trap set. Loggers in the Pocono Mountains used it on their boots each morning. Civil War cavalry scouts had recorded the same effect on horsetack. The pattern showed up over and over across many generations of men. Vinegar destroys the bacteria that produces human foot and skin odor. The acetic acid kills the scent at the source in about 2 minutes. It does not mask the smell like a spray. It removes the cause itself. A deer walking the trail finds nothing to trigger its wind response. Vinegar also neutralizes the ammonia smell in leather boot sweat. Thaddeus Vance never spent $1 on store-bought scent spray. His hunting ground ran clean for 40 straight whitetail seasons. Then the carbon suit came, and the vinegar jug was quietly forgotten. This video is just the surface of what the scent industry has buried. I gathered everything modern outdoor culture worked hard to bury away. All of it sits inside the complete forbidden hunter's vault below. Ghost scent methods that make whitetail miss your stand line cold. Silent stalking footwork that the old timber hunters never once lost. Blood-trailing tricks for low light and thick brush deer recovery. Forgotten funnel reeds that show you bedding without trail cameras. Iron sight drills that beat modern optics inside 200 yards. Wind-reading layers that turn a bad stand into a great one each sit. 8 powerful modules in one place. No filler, no gear talk left. The link sits at the very top of the description right below this. But stay right here with me. The video is just barely getting started. Now look at the real science behind a jug of plain white vinegar dust. The American Chemical Society has studied acetic acid for decades. Acetic acid kills 99% of odor bacteria on contact. That is on par with most hospital-grade surgical cleaning solutions. A black-legged deer nose can pick up 1 part per billion in the wind. Human foot bacteria make a gas called isovaleric acid in heavy flow. That gas is what triggers the wind response in every whitetail nearby. Vinegar breaks that gas down within the first 2 minutes of contact. Compare that to a $40 bottle of scent killer from store. The scent killer masks odor on contact for about 2 or 3 hours. White vinegar removes the odor at the source for the morning sit. 1-gallon jug of vinegar covers hundreds of treatments for cheap. A carbon hunting suit can run over $200 in the catalog. An ozone scent machine can run over $300 by itself. A study from Ohio State University confirmed vinegar on boot tests. They found the treated boots held no detectable odor at 10 yards. The control boots held strong human odor for up to 40 feet away. Researchers at Penn State ran a similar test on hunting pant fabric. They found vinegar-treated pants held less odor than ozone ones. A test in Michigan tracked deer response to vinegar-scrubbed blinds. The deer walked within 10 yards of the blind on 8 of 10 trials. The control blind saw deer veer off at 30 yards on most trials. Old deer camp journals from the 1930s recorded the same. They dusted vinegar on every stand ladder and every climber strap. The hunters reported 0 deer winding them for the whole October. Modern hunting magazines never reprint any of those old journal notes. You will only find sprays, suits, and ozone machines on the pages. The numbers above should already make you uncomfortable for sure. But the next part is where the real story turns very dark indeed. If you made it this far, you already know more about deer scent than most hunters in the entire United States ever will know about. Subscribe and share this with someone who still trusts the old real Fieldcraft over a $40 bottle of scent killer spray. The full vault is sitting at the very top of the description below. Now stay with me. The next part of this matters even more than rest. So why does almost nobody talk about a plain jug of white vinegar now? Why did this knowledge vanish from every deer hunting magazine? Why is it missing from every modern whitetail podcast on the airwaves? The scent control industry makes billions on hunting gear every year. Scent sprays, carbon suits, ozone machines, scent-free laundry soaps, rubber boot treatments, activated charcoal pouches for the hunt bag. A simple $2 jug of white vinegar threatens that whole model. You cannot patent a kitchen acid that sits on every grocery shelf. You cannot lock away a jug that costs almost nothing at the store. You cannot build a brand around a thing grandma used for pickles. The model needs you confused, dependent, and shopping for new sprays. Vinegar is the opposite of every part of that whole gear machine. So it had to be quietly removed from the modern hunting conversation. Magazines stopped printing it. Field guides stopped listing it cold. Hunting shows stopped mentioning it on every fall episode they aired. And a whole generation of hunters grew up never once even hearing it. That is not an accident. That is the slow burial of real knowledge. And the only way to bring it back now is to share it out loud today. Think about how many hunters spend hundreds on scent gear every fall. The Archery Trade Association reports billions in scent gear sales. Billions of dollars on scent control products across the country, and the chemical sprays have not raised the success rate by very much. The jug of vinegar never had a marketing budget or a cable ad spot. But the old hunters who used it walked their woods clean for years. Here is exactly what to do this weekend out at your hunting stand. Take a clean $2 jug of plain distilled white vinegar home. Look for the brand with 5% acidity on the front of the jug. Find a small hand pump spray bottle and 1 quart of cold clean water. Mix 1 part vinegar with 1 part cold water in the bottle by hand. Shake the mix for about 10 seconds until it looks clear and blended. The vinegar kills the bacteria and the water helps it spread evenly. Take the spray bottle and mist the tops of your hunting boots down. Mist the leather laces, the rubber soles and the seam of the boot. Mist the pant cuffs up to about the middle of the calf on each leg. Mist the bottom of the jacket and the cuffs of both hunting sleeves. Mist the climbing straps and the ladder rungs of the tree stand base. Wait about 2 full minutes for the vinegar to work before walking in. The vinegar smell fades within about 10 minutes in the open cold air. Walk into the stand at first light and sit quiet for the morning hunt. Watch for the change by the very first sit of the deer hunting season. Most hunters see deer at under 30 yards within the first morning. Compare that to a $40 bottle of spray that lasts 2 hours. Compare that to a $200 carbon suit you wash every week. Compare that to a $300 ozone machine in a closet. A neighbor of mine ran this trick on his stand last Pennsylvania fall. He took a heavy 8-point buck on the second morning of season. The deer walked within 15 yards of his tree stand base downwind. He spent $2 on the vinegar and $0 on any spray. Another bow hunter in New York ran the same trick for a full season. He had does, and young bucks walk under his stand almost every sit. A backwoods hunter in Vermont used the vinegar trick for 2 decades. His stand has pulled a trophy buck tag in 9 of 20 seasons. The proof keeps showing up wherever a hunter actually tries vinegar. But you will never read those stories in a glossy hunting magazine. I do need to be honest with you about one limit of this whole method. Vinegar works best on dry boots and dry hunting clothes at the start. Heavy rain and heavy sweat can wash the treatment off within the hour. You will need to spray again every 2 to 3 hours on long sits. And it will not hide a poor wind choice or a bad stand location rid. This is Fieldcraft, not a magic shield against every single bad wind. Always play the wind first and treat the scent trick as a backup. This knowledge did not die in the woods. It waited in the vinegar jug. It waited in pantry shelves behind 10,000 old farmhouses. It waited for someone to walk it back out into the open air again. If this video made a difference, subscribe and share it out today. Every share keeps one more buried hunting method alive for someone. The complete Forbidden Hunter's Vault is at the top of description. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside is even heavier still. This was just one method out of dozens still buried in the woods now. And every share of this video pulls another one back into the light. Old hunting knowledge does not need a marketing department to win. It only needs one hunter at a time to remember what really worked.